Hi and welcome to Stitching Games. Sorry it's been a while since I last did an update. When I looked it was actually August I last did a video. I plan to be a bit more regular now, hopefully. We'll see how everything goes. I have been busy with, obviously with the children, so they always make it harder to do videos, as I like it quite quiet so you can hear me. Yeah, so the plans for this video are to go through all of my cross stitch whips. I now have 9 on the go, so I will go through those with you and my plans for each of them. Also I have been knitting, so I'll show you I'll show a baby blanket my mum knitted, that's to go in my shop, but first of all I'm doing it trying to sell it at a craft fair which is on tomorrow. I've also done a baby blanket, I'll show you that, which is also going to go to the fair, and then if not, onto my website / Etsy store. So I'll show you that, and I am in the process of making a really huge Lego style blanket. So I'll show you that as well. Yeah, if you see my eyes just keep darting down, I've got my notes on the screen, so I'll be looking at those. Right, so first up, knitting. So the first thing I'm going to show you is my Lego blanket. So I'm doing it in strips of each multicoloured, and then I'm going to sew all the long strips together to make a single bed cover type size blanket. And it's going to go to my nephew, as my sister-in-law has asked me to make it. It is made from, I'm using, Drops Paris 100% cotton wool, and then I'm going to try and crochet them together, crochet them together once I've done it all. And my aim is to get this first strip finished and to have started the second by the 20th of December. So I've got 11 days to do that. However, I have only got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm halfway through the 6th colour, and there's 7 on a stripe, so this is where we're at so far. I'll just roll it up. It keeps rolling in the middle at the moment, but obviously when I attach it all together, when I do the other ones, it should all stay flat and look alright. So yeah, hopefully I can get some more done on that, maybe later today, but definitely this month. Okay, so my mum, bless her, to help me out, knitted this pink blanket. Again, it is Drops Paris wool, 100% cotton. And I told her what sort of pattern I wanted. So it's my design based on a book she had with different rib patterns in and stuff. So we've got this one here. Oh, I don't know if you can see now. There we are. And I'll just go up. Yeah, I need to tuck the ends in before I put it in its packaging, but I'll do that later tonight before I pack it up ready for the fete. And then I've done a neutral version, so it's the same sort of styling with the border. I'm going to do mine this way just to be different. So it's that sort of design on the border, and then just a stocking stitch or stockinette in the middle. So yeah, so there'll be whatever doesn't go tomorrow is going on my shop. I'm hoping, as it's a Christmas fair and it's quite cold, I can convince people to buy my blankets. I also do have that to sell, a blue one which is a similar size to these, and I've got a really big pink one. It's like twice the size of the one I've got here. So we'll see how that goes. Right, on to the cross stitch. Okay, so the first one I'm going to show you is my Ice Princess. Now, I'm not sure if I've worked on this really since you've last seen it, but since I can't remember what I've worked on when, I'm just going to show you everything and we'll go through it all and I'll sort of start from scratch, so to speak. So we've got the freebie Ice Princess, which was artwork by Hannah Lynn, but charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. I'm stitching it on what am I stitching it on? 25 count off-white. I'm not sure what type of fabric, as it came out of my mum's cross stitch stash. It was a sort she couldn't use because the holes were too small for her, so she gave it to me. So here's where I'm at the moment. I want to try and finish that first page here, or at least a couple of columns on it, because I've tried all different techniques on that page and it's all just gone a bit squiffy. So I just want to try and work out a good rhythm for it, and then hopefully get quite a bit done on that. So yeah, I want to try and finish the first page on that when it comes up in the rotation. I'll talk about that at the end. Okay, so the next one is a new start. I racked it very generously by a lady who came to the Milton Keynes stitching retreat. This is another Haid. It's by Laurie Prindle, and it is Minnie the Black. So that's how far I've got so far. I am stitching this on 28 count Lugana, which was hand dyed by Sparkleys, and it's called Basically Bonkers. I quite like that name, and I love purple, so it's sort of definitely a fabric for me. As this is a lot of greys and blacks in it, I wanted a funky colour to stitch on to make it a bit more brighter and interesting to stitch on. So like I said, that's where I've got so far on that one. I think it's only about 300 stitches in, but progress is progress. Okay, next we have, hold on, what do we have? Is a kit called Burning Beauty. I'll find you a picture. It's a DMC kit, which is here. Hopefully I can do it without no, without a glare too much. There we are. Sort of. There we go. Yeah, that one. I do need to get in touch with DMC about this kit, because I seem to have lost the page that tells me how many strands of each colour floss to use, because some of them use 3 strands, some colours use 2, and so on and so forth. So I need to get in touch with them to get a new one sent out. But this is where I've got to so far. So this is 14 count Ada that came with the kit, and I want to try and get at least halfway by March time. Up. So that's where I'm at so far. Okay. What am I doing? Right. Okay. So the next one is called Playtime's Over. It is another kit by DMC. When it's finished, it will look like this. If I can do it without glare. There. Okay. And before I've decided to record this video, a couple of days, yesterday, actually it was the day before, I finished the first page. So this is where I am at the moment on it, and I plan to try and get page 2 done soon. Well, it'll be page 3 of the pattern, because I'm going to do down here, so then these 2 horses are finished completely, and then move on to the next one, then do the next half. So it's like that. Yeah, okay. I'm really enjoying that one though. I do love a good horse pattern. So that's 2 horses I've got on the go. And I have a few other patterns with horses in too, so you'll be seeing horses for a very long time. Okay, so the next one I want to work on some more is my Pokemon Generation 1. Now you all know what that looks like. It's the Epic Pokemon 1. Okay, so this is what I've got done so far. It's about a third of page 1. So I'm going to try and at least get that first page finished this month. I'm going to work on this along with the next one. So the next one is Robot Alphabet, which is actually my own design for my shop Marnie's Mixed Bag. So this is where I've got to so far with model stitching it. This is on 25 count Lugana, and it's an off-white piece, and I want to try and get this finished by the end of December. So with Christmas as well, it's going to be an interesting task because I've still got those 3 letters to finish and then another 20 to go. Although each colour does go quite quick because it's all just one colour. Like, it's not all higgledy-piggledy. Confetti is the word I'm after. It's not confetti. So yeah, I'll put a link to my shop below if you want to check it out. I have this pattern available at the moment as a PDF. I can send out a paper copy, and I have actually got a few kits made up with the floss and fabric already in for you. Okay, next we have got Save the Stitches. I've not worked on this for what feels like a lifetime. So this is where I am up to at the moment, and I want to try and get that block finished at some point soon. Probably a while before I get to work on it again though, because I've got so much other stuff going on. Okay, we're getting there, we've got 2 more whips left. Okay, so we've got, next is Storytime Sampler, which was the Frosted Pumpkin Stitcheries stitch along for not last year, the year before. I got really behind with it and started stitching other things, and so I'm really not that far. I've only done the January and February block. However, what I am thinking is I might leave this and then carry on the March block in March, and then I can do it each month, like each block a month, to go along with the theme of it being a stitch along, even though it's like 3 years too late. But still, as long as it's getting done, doesn't matter when. And last but not least is Tree of Stitches. So this is where I have got to, can I do that so far? What I've actually done with the cross stitching is on 25 count, but instead of stitching over 2, because I didn't like how it looked, I've done over 1, like you would do over 1 for Mirabilia, the skin, so each square has 4 stitches rather than just 1, so that then when I do the specialties over 2 still, it should still fit in alright. So that's where I am with that. I want to finish the cross stitch first, and then I can have a go at my very first specialty stitches. So yeah, so my plans for the month are to work on my robot alphabet, and because I want to get that finished. Sorry, I'm being a bit rude. My robot alphabet, so I want to work on this one this month. I want to try and get it finished, and I'm going to try and finish the page on my Pokemon. So those 2 can go over there ready for me to get cracking on. Okay, so as we're now in December, I figured I would talk a little bit about my plans for 2017. So even though I keep saying 9 whips is too many, I want less, I am actually having a new start in the new year. I did get the Clouds Factory stitch along for the women of the women one. I can't remember what it's called now. So I will be starting that. I just need to go through my fabric and find the floss colours out so I can pick something. I've got quite a bit of fabric accumulating now, as I am part of Chromatic Alchemy's Fabric of the Month Club, and they are beautiful. And I did buy quite a few from Kate at Sparkly's because she came to the retreat in Milton Keynes and had a stall, and I went a bit crazy because it's just too nice and pretty. So yeah, I keep saying sorry, it's just what I do. So next year I'm going to start that when it comes out, January 15th, and then I'm going to work on a goal-based rotation in the meantime. So my plan, like I said, is to finish my robot alphabet. When I finish that, because it's a model stitch, when that one's finished, I'll then start another model stitch with some other patterns I've got, because I've been lucky enough to have a lovely artist called Mary Sparrow let me use her artwork for some of my designs, as well as my own originals. So I'll be stitching up a couple of them to make sure they're converted okay, and then I can put them in the shop. Yeah, and then I've got a few other patterns that I've made up that I need to add as well. Other plans for 2017. So yeah, so what I'll do, I think, for a rotation is I've got all my whips in a spreadsheet in alphabetical order, and I know what goal I want to do on each of them. So once the goal's done, I'll move on to the next one in the alphabet. So once I've done my page on my Pokemon, I will move on to the next one on the list, which I think is actually Save the Stitches. Yes, it is. So I don't include Robot Owl. So I'll always have a model stitch, which in this case is this one at the moment, on the go. And then also in the month I'm going to do one of my whips once I get to the goal, and then I'll... So my goal obviously is, like I said, Pokemon this time. Hopefully I'll get that finished. So then in January, when I do the update in January, that month would be to do Save the Stitches and finish the block I'm on there, and hopefully have my new starts as well. So yeah, it's going to be busy, and I've got a nearly 2-year-old and a 5-year-old. I think what I might do is just lock them in a room so I know they're safe and I can just stitch all day. That's perfectly fine, isn't it? Perfectly acceptable. I'm not really going to do that. No, I'm not really going to do that. Obviously, I will work around them as best I can and try to get stuff done. But if it doesn't, you know, it's life, isn't it? That's just what happens. Okay, so that's all I've got for you for now, and I do plan to do one in the new year now. So I'd just like to say happy holidays, Merry Christmas, hope you have a good new year, and thank you for watching, liking and subscribing to my channel and my videos, and I look forward to seeing you all soon. Bye.